We're on our travels again, the Scottish Cup rolling into round 2, and we're in Midlothian for Bonnyrigg Rose against Buckie Thistle. Bonnyrigg are top of the Lowland League with a rich history, and among their former players are the great Pat Stanton and John White. And this guy, 007, Sean Connery. But the mission tonight is to get to the third round.
It is a complete community spirit that's here, and they always get behind the club. For the league games that we've had this season as well, averaging between 400 to 500 people come to our league games, which is massive. And again, a huge crowd tonight, so hopefully we send them home happy.
Their opponents are currently leading the way in the Highland League, thanks to a 2-1 win against Nairn County last weekend. They've been to the third round of the Cup 3 times in the last 4 years, and they're desperate to get there again.
We're confident, we're playing really well in the league, so we're going to the game with confidence, but we know it's going to be very difficult.
This was the home dressing room just a few moments ago. What a big night it is for Bonnyrigg Rose. And Buckie Thistle are halfway through a 400-mile round trip, hoping they can make it worthwhile. Here at New Dundas Park, where they're playing under the lights behind us for the very first time. We are with the Scottish Cup on the BBC every step of the way. We're living and breathing the early rounds. If I get any more enthusiastic about it, I'm going to self-combust, James McFadden. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's good conditions for a game. The pitch looks good, so hopefully there's some football played, but there'll be plenty of tackles flying, and I'm sure of that.
It's intriguing, Michael, isn't it? Because top of the Lowland League against top of the Highland League, they could be playing off at the end of the season for a place in the SPFL.
They could well be. It is going to be a very interesting game. The two leagues will be well represented here, both, as you said, at the top of the table, and I'm sure they'll be desperate to get the upper hand if so happens at the end of the season they're in a playoff. And they'll be doing their divisions and their leagues proud if they manage to get through. But I would envisage it's going to be a tight game here between the two top teams.
There are 400 travelling fans here from Buckie on the northeast coast, and maybe a total of about 1,700. It's going to be a great atmosphere. They were keen to beat the attendance that we had at our last live match, which was Kelty against Auchinleck Talbot. Of course, they had about 1,600. I think they might just have edged it tonight.
Well, you can hear I think that's the Buckie fans that are singing behind us. They've had a long bus journey.
That might be their drink of choice as well.
Probably. Probably.
So let's get to the action. Teams about to come out here at New Dundas Park. Bonnyrigg Rose against Buckie Thistle, second round of the William Hill Scottish Cup. Your commentator Stephen Thompson and Liam McLeod.
Good evening, everyone. And round 2 of this season's William Hill Scottish Cup, which gets underway this evening. And as the guys were saying, the nature of the Scottish game these days means we could, in theory, be seeing and hearing more about these two over the years. Edinburgh City and Cove Rangers are testament to that, as former Lowland and Highland League representatives themselves. Robbie Horn reverts back to a more familiar lineup from the one that played Threave Rovers in the South Challenge Cup last time out. They won that 3-0, but this is more akin to the team that beat East Kilbride in their last league game. Horn and Turner started the defeat to Hibs at Tynecastle in this competition in 2017. Moyes was on the bench, Scott Gray and McGahey were subs that day and are again tonight. Well, Buckie's top scorer Scott Adams is on the bench. They beat Nairn 2-1 last week. Striker Sam Robertson won the Highland League with Cove Rangers a couple of seasons ago. Left back Jack Murray's on loan from Ross County. 18-year-old goalkeeper Lee Herbert has recently become their first choice between the sticks. He played for Scotland schoolboys against England earlier this year. That is Alan Newlands, who's the ref this evening. He's been in charge of 2 Premiership games in Scotland this season. He was also 4th official for Don Robertson at the French under-21 side's 5-3 win over Slovakia in the recent international break. The man whose goals won this competition last season, Oddson Edouard of Celtic, scored a hat-trick in that game. Under the lights in Midlothian, a long trip down the road for Buckie Thistle, who sit atop the Highland League right now, as do Bonnyrigg Rose with regards to the Lowland League this campaign, albeit that could change tonight because Kelty Hearts, and even a draw, would put them ahead of Bonnyrigg this evening if they can get something out of their match against East Stirlingshire at the Falkirk Stadium. And it is the home team who are doing the pressing early on. Stephen Thompson.
Very decent and positive start from Bonnyrigg. Long diagonal down into the corner. Dean Brett forces it. Unfortunately, the delivery's not quite as good, Liam. But yeah, I mean, a positive start for them. You can see straight away their intent. Get the ball down into the corner. It is skiddy out there. It's been raining an awful lot this afternoon. In fact, I heard Rob mention the pitch, but in front of us in our commentary position, you can see it's cutting up quite a bit. So I'd imagine there'll be a few challenges flying in.
Yeah, it was absolutely torrential earlier on. It eased up just about an hour before kick-off. You do wonder whether the damage has already been done with regards to the playing surface. Just one defeat each so far this campaign for these two. Rose have been to round 4 as recently as less than 3 years ago. I mentioned that game against Hibs, which they eventually lost 8-1, but they did knock out Dumbarton en route. The Buckie Jags were in the 3rd round in the same season, pushing Dunfermline before exiting 5-3. And it is the Highland League side who are doing all the defending in these opening exchanges. Lee Curry over this free kick. Former Hibs youth player. And it just comes off the head of Kieran Adams, who's the right centre-half for the visitors, who are in the green and white hoops. Bonnyrigg in the red and white. It's an awkward one there. The goalkeeper thought about coming for it as that was floated in by Dean Brett.
Well, Dean Brett's already looked a threat down this right-hand side. It was a fantastic delivery into the box, into a really dangerous area. He just couldn't quite get the header on target. A difficult one though, but again, more positivity and more threat from the home side.
It was actually well worked forward there by Ross Gray in the midfield, who's chasing after that, wearing the number 11. The prize, a place in round 3 where we will start to see some of the better known names, if you like, such as Partick Thistle, Greenock Morton, Queen of the South, Dunfermline Athletic, all come in at the next stage. There's a chance to cross there for Johnny Brown.
Not the best of deliveries, but again, they're getting in behind the Buckie Thistle back 4 into really decent areas to get the ball into the box. Just maybe lacking that wee bit of quality on the final ball.
There's Curry.
Dangerous throw.
Yeah, I was just about to say. Buckie taking a chance early on. And they're fortunate that the quality in the cross wasn't there from Lewis Turner, who scored the big goal of Bonnyrigg's season last time around.
Crazy
they
decision.
Got into the Lowland League.
Crazy decision in the first place, sorry Liam, to take that throw in straight across, 20 yards out from your goal and let it run through. And you're right, the final ball from Lewis Turner just wasn't there. They've had all the possession. I don't think Buckie Thistle have really managed to get into the Bonnyrigg half. 4 minutes into the game.
Yeah, the ball has just hit the perspex in front of us in this little hut, which we can't actually see the pitch from right now because of the rain. And Stephen Thompson.
Fair to say I got a wee fright there, Liam.
Yeah, you might need a wee change or something. Let's keep an eye on that. Yeah, first season in the Lowland League for Bonnyrigg Rose after winning the East of Scotland Football League last season, thus gaining SFA membership. They finished top of Conference B, 9 points clear of Bo'ness United. They then went into a 3-team championship playoff, beating both Pennycook Athletic, who are close to this neck of the woods, and Broxburn Athletic as well. An injury time goal from the aforementioned Lewis Turner. 4th minute of injury time, which ensured they would be playing Lowland League football this campaign. And as I say, top of the league before a ball was kicked tonight.
Unlucky there from Dean Brett again. You can see his intention every time he gets on that ball is to try and work space for him to get the cross in.
Trying to force it through to George Hunter. And up there forming that two-pronged strike force. This is the first time we've seen Buckie Thistle up the pitch though. And there's Robertson's run. He's playing as the sole striker tonight.
He did so well there, Liam. Picked up the ball deep in the half and took it for a run. Evaded about 3 or 4 challenges before eventually he was wiped out. But it's more promising, should we say, for Buckie Thistle. In fact, a really good area for them to try and put a dangerous delivery into the box. But well done, Robertson.
It's Johnny Brown with the foul. And the ref having a chat with Mark Beer, who's the man in goal for Bonnyrigg Rose. Robertson with him on the line. Here comes the free kick, as good as a corner.
Well, the delivery from the set plays a wasted one into that front post area, but it hits the first man, a pet hate of mine, and then the ball goes back to the goalkeeper, Lee Herbert. His punt up the field doesn't pick out anybody and goes straight through to his opposition goalkeeper.
Keeps the ball back. New Dundas Park here, the home of Bonnyrigg Rose. It's Callum Murray. Trying to go round the back there.
Great playing skill from Murray. Tries to cut back, it's just not quite accurate enough. Cam defending though from Bonnyrigg.
This is Sam Urquhart. And again, lovely little shimmy from him as well. And gets the free kick. And again, it's in a position where they might be able to threaten here.
Yeah, I thought Lewis Turner was unlucky though for Bonnyrigg. I thought as though it was a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. But you're right, a good opportunity to put the ball in the box.
There's Callum Murray there, wearing number 16. Andy McCaskill. Oh, that was left by everyone. And Bonnyrigg happy that didn't fall to anyone in the green and white shirt.
Yeah, McCaskill just flashed it in. It was cleared obviously the first time, comes out wide, and when he does put the opportunity of the ball back into the box, again, it's not a great cross, but it causes problems. Just nobody on the end of it for Buckie Thistle. Better though, these last 3 or 4 minutes for them, getting into forward positions. It is quite scrappy, and you can see the one thing that's standing out for me at the minute is just that lack of quality in the final third. Lack of composure maybe with the final pass or the final cross. No complaints there, definite foul. Johnny Stewart.
It's another loose one. And chases on for Sam Robertson again. You can see he could cause problems to the home defence tonight with his running.
He's definitely athletic, trying to get in behind there with the ball over the top. It's a difficult evening to try that type of pass because of the wet surface. It's going to skid through, but He's clearly a willing runner.
The rain today was, in this neck of the woods this afternoon, there was a weather warning. It was just as bad as we saw in Glasgow on Sunday when Scotland played San Marino. And I know you were in sunnier climes, Stephen, but it was horrendous that night as well. And the pitch has done well, even though it's cutting up, it's done well to withstand it because the Hampden surface was toiling in that torrential rain on Sunday evening.
Yeah, I mean, the pitch is generally quite good. It is going to play fast and there is bits cutting up. It was raining in Fife earlier on as well, Liam.
Yes, Stephen took the wrong turn and headed towards Edinburgh Airport instead of coming to Midlothian, but only you could do that, I think. Cross volley then. And it'll be easy to deal with for Johnny Brown over on the far side. You blamed your sat-nav, which is an incredible excuse.
Well, it was the sat-nav's fault. That was a slightly better ball in on that occasion. Certainly enough pace on the cross, showed good technique. Just a wee bit too high, maybe mistimed the jump, getting on the end of it. Better delivery all the same.
Sure there wasn't a drop of rain in Dubai earlier in the week, to be fair. Here come Bonnyrigg. Dean Brett again making himself available, the current player and supporters player of the year. Lee Dundas Park. It's been slipped forward by Johnny Stewart. Yeah, just trying to play it to that left-hand side of the box for Johnny Brown.
He didn't lift his head, that was the problem. And the ball came back to him. He just played it blind, and the situation in the box had changed with one of the strikers coming out the box. Again, you know, just reiterating what I've already said. Both teams getting into that last kind of third of the pitch, just struggling to kind of make that killer pass or final ball count.
Oh no, he's kicked it in his box, only just though.
Good goalkeeping from Mark Weir. It really is, because this was, he probably could have left it actually, it had rolled out for the by kick. That's what I was saying about the balls over the top. It's so difficult to keep them in the pitch with it just skidding through, but strong goalkeeping.
He'll give it his 9th clean sheet of the season tonight, Mark Weir. Former Kilmarnock and Rangers youth player, who once scored a 110-yard goal when he was playing out in the States. He went out there to study a master's degree, which he attained before returning to Bonnyrigg Rose. He was an internet sensation when he scored from his own box. Not to take anything away from him, it was a punt up the pitch. But it went in, so...
Good on him.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Jack Murray into the midfielder McCaskill.
Awfully deep. Bonnyrigg allowing...
Well, they're down to 10 at the moment. Ross Gray's off the pitch getting treated. He's just trotting back on right now. Moved away there by Martinook. That's another Lovely bit of skill there, Andy McCaskill. Fires it in as well, and that could have reaped rewards. Gets the round of applause from his manager, and rightly so.
I tell you what, Liam, that is sensational defending from Dean Brett at the back post. McCaskill does ever so well, puts in a really dangerous ball, but just watch Brett here. He could easily have put that in his own net. If he leaves it, it's almost a tap-in. He hooks away over behind the post. Fantastic defending from Dean Brett.
Closest there's been to an opening goal in this second round tie. In comes the corner. It's Kevin Fraser. That's been again slightly given clear.
Yeah, George Hunter was onto it like a flash, so he just couldn't quite get his touch set in front of him. And to be fair to Lee Herbert, he was off his line fairly smartly to clear the danger, but
almost was clear though.
Dangerous play, really dangerous play again across that central area.
George Hunter trying to knock it forward towards Turner. There's Jack Murray, 19-year-old, as I say, on loan from County. Scored his first for the club recently against Fort William. Has played for the County first team when they were in the Championship last season, and they faced Motherwell under-20s in the Challenge Cup. Johnny Brown there, very much a two-footed player. He was at Livingston when they were a third division side. He was on loan from Hearts. He won the third division title there, so he's one of a handful of players who have played at levels above that they're currently performing at. Alan Horn couldn't keep that in place, the longest serving player at Bonnyrigg.
Persistent from Callum Murray though, chasing him down, putting him under pressure, forcing the error.
Yeah, Alan Horn described by the club as Mr. Consistent. He's given it.
Yeah, it's a shove in the back, isn't it? Ross Gray just trying to roll him. Two hands in the back. Pushes him to the ground. I don't think there could be too many complaints there.
You see the little wound above the left eye.
Yep.
Ross Gray sustained earlier. Ross Gray's older brother Scott, part of the squad here on the bench tonight. It's the captain Stewart. Now Brett. There's Lee Curry trying to burrow his way through.
Sam Robertson couldn't quite get a hold of that. They'd taken up a good position if he managed to secure possession. A wee counter-attack on. Good defending.
Yeah, it really was. Fantastic from Kieran Adams, who the Buckie Thistle fans would see more of if he didn't have to work offshore. It's his full-time job. And when he plays, their defence tends to be stronger. And it's clipped in. Good take by Weir, because it might look like an easy enough cross to deal with, but with a heavy pitch and the conditions.
Yeah, he didn't want to let it bounce, Liam.
I think that's a foul, to be fair.
Just referee having a quiet word. Alan Newlands, persistent fouling from the fullback.
Yeah, there you go.
Just a touch late. Just a touch late.
This your weekend underway now. There's Cowie's challenge. Cowie's actually from Buckie's, part of the furniture. Scored in the last round, in fact, against Civil Service Strollers. Bonnyrigg came through 1-0 against Fraserburgh. Already put away Highland League opposition. That was a good take on the chest, and Herbert holding on to it as the snapshot came in from Turner.
The initial pass is fantastic, a long diagonal ball, chested down really well by Gray, and just not enough direction. That could have caused problems if it was slightly more in either corner, but straight at Lee Herbert. It's never going to test him too much. Neither goalie's really been worked that much in the opening 22 minutes.
It's a long ball for Murray to chase. He's not getting there. More height than distance in that clearance. There's Brett.
Good play again from the fullback. Loves to maraud forward. The referee just pulled it back for a foul. It was a pull on him. Luckily he called that one back there. Taking a big risk there was Johnny Stewart with the cross-field pass.
64 clubs participating in this round of the William Hill Scottish Cup. 16 Highland League sides, 13 from the Lowland, 10 League 2 sides coming in to this one, as well as the Highland League runners-up Brora Rangers, Berwick Rangers, Lowland League champions East Kilbride, runners-up BSC Glasgow, all coming in at this stage. All 10 League 1 and 6 Championship clubs come in the next stage of the tournament. The rest of the Championship and the 12 top flight clubs come in to January's 4th round. I think one of the supporters of one of these teams will be eagerly looking forward to the 3rd round draw, should there be a winner this evening, and you'll catch that on the highlights programme on Sunday, Sports Scene 7:15 here on BBC Scotland.
Slack there because they built themselves into a decent area. Again, Buckie Thistle, simple pass out wide and just overcooked it, unfortunately. Craig Cowie it was with the pass.
As you can see, the rain is back on. More of a drizzle at the moment. We'll just make that pitch heavier. Good touch by Graham Stewart, the Buckie Thistle manager, who was once upon a time Inverness Cally Thistle, among other clubs. Actually played at Ibrox against Rangers in this competition in his playing days. He's just out a shot there. The dugout's over on this side. Have a little ball over the top. for Murray. Who's a better team right now? Buckie?
I felt as though Bonnyrigg started the game very positively, Liam. Get down into that right area under Dean Brett really, really well, putting 3 or 4 crosses into the box, early pressure, but if I'm being honest, I think Buckie Thistle are probably just edging it just now. Better possession of the ball, getting into better areas, certainly. It's been scrappy. I think we kind of thought it would be that way, certainly with the pitch the way it is, and the ball being fiery on the pitch. You know, it's fairly even though. It's fairly even. I'd like to see either goalkeeper being worked a wee bit harder for their money, especially on a night like tonight. You should be shooting from everywhere because it can bounce and skip up and anything can happen really.
Here comes the free kick, just flicked away in the end by Lewis McKinnon.
Both of Buckie's goals last weekend against Nairn came from set plays.
You on the results show tomorrow?
I am.
There you go.
Myself and Leanne Crichton, there's the graphic there.
Some amount
I'm looking
of...
forward to that. Hopefully I'll be able to see a bit clearer than I can see just now.
It's not ideal. There's lots of Stephen Thompson for your fans to enjoy this weekend. Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Spoiled. 4:30 for the results programme. There is Graham Stewart there, and the Bonnyrigg bench just in the background.
Sam Urquhart there just nudging into the back of him. Not a massive amount in it. Chance for Bonnyrigg to put the ball into the box.
Yeah, big time. There's Brett. Looked like it was just opening up there for the home team.
Yeah, look like Buckie Thistle completely switched off and didn't match the run here of Dean Brett. It's a fantastically worked set play, you have to say. Really sloppy from Buckie, but lovely wee ball that through. And Brett just tried to flash it across the face. Really good defending. In the end, though, Kieran Adams again, right place, right time, clears the danger. Robertson showing his energy again. Sam Robertson, he's working his socks off up there at top for Buckie Thistle. Pressuring the defence of Bonnyrigg every time they're on the ball.
And Cove have won the last couple of Highland Leagues. Obviously won't be defending their title this season. Now a League 2 team in the SPFL. Here's a potential break for Buckie Thistle. They've won the Highland League 11 times themselves.
It was a chance that. It was a chance to hit them in the counter. Just overran it and well read from Martinuc. Gets the tackle in.
Ewan Moyes clipping it out to the left. It's back here with Martinuc.
It's a decent ball from Martinuc. Just got to secure it that bit better. Chance here though for Buckie to break.
Yeah, there's been a few of these. What can they make of this one? Not much.
It was the wrong choice. It was the wrong choice in the end from Sam Robertson. McCaskill had made a decent run inside. Lovely turn in the first place. Plays it, he's looking for this pass back into the middle, just out of shot there. Don't know whether it was a cross or an attempted dink or what it was from Robertson. I think it's a shot. He just leans back and it goes high over the bar. Just when you need that wee bit of composure, lift your head, look and see what's happening inside you. McCaskill had made a decent run to the edge of the box.
Should there be a replay of this game if we get a draw tonight? Be up at Victoria Park in Buckie next Saturday in the town on the Murray Firth coast between Cullen and Lossiemouth, west of Fraserburgh and Banff. It's a long old trip which the Thistle players will be taking on the second half of after this game's done.
Well done.
Yeah, Dean Brett again, the heart of it. Moyes to Martinook. That'll be a goal kick.
Couple of long range shots, one after the other. First from Martinook, second from Turner, I think it was. Yeah, every right to try those on a night like tonight, as I said, with the ground being skippy. Goalkeepers hate greasy nights like tonight with the surface the way it is, but neither managing to get on target. Good spot there from Alan Newlands. Sam Robertson definitely had a handful of the defender's jersey. Good refereeing.
No goals early on in the Edinburgh City Bankside match, which is also taking place this evening in the second round. The rest of the ties taking place tomorrow, and you'll be able to keep tabs on them and all the SPFL action on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland tomorrow afternoon.
Maybe that's
From
where
2.
my sat-nav was taking me, Liam, to the Edinburgh City game.
No, you're still going the wrong way for that.
All right.
You're not getting out of it, I'm afraid. 3 hours from Houston, Renfrewshire to Midlothian. Incredible.
Traffic was bad as well.
Yeah. Try taking on Edinburgh rush hour on a Friday. It's away there by Lewis McKinnon.
Yeah, he read it well. Ball over the top, clears the danger.
Bobby Horn there in his second spell as Bonnyrigg manager. He'd a year away, at just over a year at Berwick Rangers.
Played
As a
against him a
manager.
lot as a youth.
Yeah, you were saying that. He was at Hearts as
He
a
was, yeah.
youth player defender.
Centre half, had many a tussle with him when we were kids.
Oh, now the referee is right on site for that one, and the yellow comes out for Lee Curry. It's the second challenge of that ilk we have seen in the game. This time it draws yellow.
Well, Alan Newlands was in a good position to witness it, and he's late. There could be no doubts about it. On a night like tonight, you know, you're going to see a lot of slide challenges. You've got to make sure you time them well, and he was half a second late to the party. I think it probably is just about a booking yet.
It's Robertson. Actually, it takes 2 to deal with it for Bonnyrigg. Just Kevin Fraser twisting and turning. Now Robertson gets it again. And he chases on up the other end. Well, he's certainly been involved, hasn't he, tonight, Lewis Turner?
Yeah, I didn't actually see why he went down because I was looking at this at the time, but he's getting back to his feet just now. Looks as though he's going to be okay.
A real legend at the club now after that goal last season in the playoff final. Yeah, it looks as though he's done.
I was wrong. I thought he was walking off the pitch to come back on, but he's clearly done. He didn't look in too much discomfort as he was walking off, but clearly there's a big enough problem for him to not continue in the match.
Well, yes, Scott Gray comes on. Brother of Ross Gray, starting up front for Bonnyrigg tonight. Former youth player at St Johnstone. Pretty much like for like change, so nothing for Robbie Horn to worry about with regards to shape. And a little shout for handball there as well, as that came bobbling into the box and bouncing back off McKinnon. Again, the referee not happy with Johnny Brown's challenge. He reckons he got the ball.
He might have just nicked it. I didn't see an awful lot in the challenge. Again, it's going to ground on a greasy night like tonight. You're going to give the referee the opportunity to give a foul.
It's McKinnon. Centre half, who's actually works as player assistant at the club. But this was the shout against him here.
Well, his hand is down by his side, so it's not in an unnatural position. He doesn't move his hand towards the ball in any way, shape or form. So I'm going to say no penalty, but I'm pretty sure Michael Stewart will disagree with me, because that's what he does.
Even if he knows he's wrong.
He's never wrong, you know that.
True, that's a good point.
Last 5 minutes or so has not been a great watch to him. Fairly scrappy, lack of big opportunities in the match. It has been even. You know, you heard Rob mention that before the game, that he felt as though it would be an even tie, and it's certainly proven to be that way. Well done.
Yeah, calmly dealt with. Robertson coming quite deep there as well. Remain forward. And there's frustration on the touchline down below us because it breaks down over on that far side for Buckie.
That ball's well gone. That's in somebody's garden.
Got the decks up already, look.
That's early.
I think the only place I've seen that before at a game, when a game was on, was Gretna, then at Raydale.
Some people keep them up all year round, though, Liam, did it not?
Why not? There's Gretna back in the days of Brooks Milson. Scottish Cup finalists. It's Bonnyrigg come forward again, and yeah, another really nice ball slid into the right channel of the box there. And it was Gray who's just on. He was trying to get in the end of it, trying to get it across.
Ever so slightly overhit. And really kind of just trundling towards that byline. Just needed a wee bit less pace. But it was a good opening again. Most of their better opportunities, or certainly most of their better openings, have come the home side Bonnyrigg down this right hand side, with Dean Brett pretty much at the heart of most of those.
Oh, now Gray might still have an opportunity to lay it back to Brett.
Really took a fantastic first touch to Gray. Looked for a second, he was in behind that Buckie back four. Just kind of spun round behind him. I thought he was going to try and dink the goalkeeper at that stage. He probably could have linked the play into Brett, and when he squared it, they were intercepted. A decent opening though.
Final 5 minutes of the first half here. New Dundas. Here's Dean Brett. Stabbed forward there by Johnny Stewart. It's been not a bad 5-minute spell for Bonnyrigg without really testing Lee Herbert and the Buckie goal.
Yep, much like the opening 5 minutes in the game. Better possession of the ball. Managed to fashion 1 or 2 opportunities. But again, you're right, just reiterating what we said pretty much all half. Neither keepers had too much to do in the way of saves. That's another ball out the stadium. Gonna run out of balls at this rate. There's Robbie Horn going to get it back on. There's another one. Reload.
Someone's out there chucking them back in the stadium, so fair play.
That's amateur hour. You keep the ball. If it's
very
into
honest.
your garden, you keep it.
You honest people in Midlothian,
There
Stephen.
must be.
This is going well.
It's all right. I've looked out our commentary hut here and I can see there's a bag full of balls, so we'll be okay.
It is actually a hut. It's a wooden hut with very steamy windows. See, told you.
There it is.
And Buckie looking for the lead before the interval here. Scott Gray. Only seen him in flashes since he came on about 5-10 minutes ago, but looks as though he could offer something. This cup tie.
That was probably their best passing sequence of the match. The home side there, Bonnyrigg working it out to that left-hand side. 4 or 5 really decent passes, switching the play, and eventually just ran out of steam as they entered the kind of phase of play, but it really matters, into the box.
Neither of these clubs is going to win the Scottish Cup. Winning the Scottish Cup to them is reaching round 4 and perhaps getting a payday against one of the Premiership sides.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's exactly what they're after, having a decent run in the competition and getting one of the bigger teams.
It's two wins away potentially here.
Yeah, it is. It all depends on the next draw for whoever wins this evening.
Yeah. Casco ransacked on the far side in the corner flag. The Buckie play probably don't want to be hanging about that corner for too much of this evening. Certainly not in this half. The left back will have that issue in the second.
I'll tell you what a great travelling support.
Absolutely.
Great home support as well, you know.
Well, Buckie Thistle, yeah, I mean, Bonnyrigg have come out in numbers. Buckie
Yep.
Thistle are an extremely well supported Highland League club.
Yep.
Probably got the best support in the Highland League. They would argue that, certainly.
A great turnout, it really is. Despite the weather conditions.
A little push.
Yeah. Not
Could
a
have
lot
gone
in
either
it
way
for me.
there.
Not a lot in it for me.
It's a minute of injury time played. There have been a couple of stoppages.
Looking forward to hearing Michael and James's analysis.
And Buckie Board watching on there as the half-time whistle goes at New Dundas. No real opportunities for the goalkeepers to show us what they can do, because it's been a bit of a struggle in front of them in that first half. A couple of decent little patches of play from both sides. Bonnyrigg started and finished the half pretty well. Buckie pretty good in between, but it means at half-time here at New Dundas Park it is Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Buckie Thistle 0.
We'll let those two get their steamy windows wiped down during the interval, and we'll get that detailed analysis from these two that Tomo was so looking forward to. Michael Stewart, James McFadden alongside me, 0-0 at half-time. Liam was talking about the possibility of a replay at Victoria Park, Buckie, and I don't think we'd rule that out, would we, James?
Certainly not on the evidence of the first half. I think it was, a good start from Bonnyrigg, a lot of pressure without really creating too many great chances, and Buckie started to get a bit of control in the game, certainly in the midfield. But yeah, the goalkeepers haven't been too busy, and I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up 0-0, to be honest.
They've done a fair job of cancelling each other out, haven't they, the leaders of the Highland and Lowland leagues?
Yeah, they have. I mean, the two goalkeepers, Weir and Herbert, they've not had a great deal to do. But yeah, at the start, I think Robbie Horn will be very happy with the way Bonnyrigg started the game. Plenty, ball in the final third, just not getting the quality into the box though on the occasions. There was quite a few times where they were down that right-hand side, balls were going too far over the back and going out for a by kick or whatever. And then, obviously, I think Buckie will be happy with the majority of the half. They managed to sort of cancel Bonnyrigg's good start, but the goalkeepers have not been tested a great deal.
Yeah, I think Dean Brett's been prominent, and you can see that he has played at a higher level than this, and he was very much involved early on as Bonnyrigg did start so well.
Yeah, and this was the one occasion where you would say the ball into the box was really good. Brett puts the ball in there, really good ball, waiting for the attacker to go and get his head on the end of it, but just not able to really trouble the goalkeeper. That is a lovely ball around the corner from Curry. Again, you see good defending at the near post there, but good, inventive play. Again, Brett getting down there, just gets blocked out. I think when there's so many bodies in the near post there, you've either got to put a lot of pace in it to try and get past there, or just try to dink it to the back post. And it ended up being neither, and it got blocked pretty easily.
As Michael pointed out, there was that early ball in from Dean Brett. You commented on it at the time that it was whipped in really good, but too often that final ball, having got into good areas, has disappointed.
Yeah, it has, and they have been in great areas. It's not as if he's had to dig the crosses out. He's been in time and space, and Michael's right on the second one. Certainly just hit it low and hard. It might go in off a defender, and you never know, but it has been good play to get them in. They've not found themselves in there through luck. They have had some good passage of play, just lacking in that final ball. But if they continue to go, then you never know. I actually thought the cross that came in, it was well defended, because Adams was really tight to him and made sure he never got a free header.
This sounds a bit like the Dean Brett Appreciation Society, but he was the man who snuffed out possibly Buckie's best chance of the first half.
Oh, there's no question about it at all. It was a wonderful piece of defending. Great play from Buckie, you've got to say as well, and that is a fantastic ball right in behind the defence. Dean Brett, concentration, making sure that I think it was Gray around the back post, wasn't going to get on the end of it. But a fantastic play there from Buckie to put that ball, whip it right across the back of the goal, in behind the defence. Good. That ultimately he's playing wing back there tonight. Dean Brett. He's getting up the other end. He's put a couple of good balls in, but first and foremost, you need them at the back post to do a bit of defending like that, and that was top drawer. Now,
Tomo would be disappointed if we didn't get your take on the penalty shout. What did you think?
I don't think it was, personally. You see it pops up here. I'm not even sure it even hits his hand. So I'm pretty sure the rule is still that there's got to be hitting your hand. You've got to hit your hand for any dispute. and that doesn't even hit his hand. So for me, it wasn't even remotely close to being a handball.
I've quite liked the two central defenders for Buckie, and the scoreline tells us anyway. But there has been good defending on both sides.
There has been. I think that when it's come into feet, they've been tight, and after the first 10-15 minute spell, they were getting on the ball and playing passes. They weren't just rushing it forward. They were trying to get a little bit of control in the game, and they managed to do that to an extent. But as you would expect, they're defending well. It's a huge game for them. I think it's been mentioned, if they get through, then the lucrative ties will come. But you would expect them to be able to defend like that and make sure that they're on, the top of their game, and they have been.
Great atmosphere, but I think the game's still to come alive, it's safe to say.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. We were just chatting to one of the Buckie fans beforehand, and he was talking about the guys in behind the striker, Murray and Urquhart in particular, and if they can get more into the game, then I think they could have a greater influence, and they're the guys that look as if they could create something, and that was what the Buckie fan was saying before the game, and I think that's appeared that way in the first half as well.
Lone face supporting Bonnyrigg Rose tonight. It belongs to Gary Locke, a man who's lifted the Scottish Cup himself. Remember that beige suit all those years ago? He's with Brian.
Yes, Gary, it's not been a classic tonight, has it? What have you made of the opening 45?
Yeah, I thought we started well. In the game. First 5-10 minutes, we're on the front foot. But you're right, after that it's been pretty scrappy. It's became a midfield battle. There's not really been any clear-cut chances. Both goalkeepers have had quite an easy night. So hopefully Robbie will be in there at the minute and telling them just to relax a little bit. I think that both teams look quite nervous, to be fair. Such a big occasion, such a big support. But hopefully we can settle down the second half and play how I know Bonnyrigg can.
You talk about this being a big occasion. This is a big occasion, not only for the club though, but for the town of Bonnyrigg. You live here. What has it been like knowing that the cameras are coming for the first time ever to watch Bonnyrigg Rose?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. A few of the locals have been in the pub for a wee while, that's for sure. But it's a great occasion for us, and the fact that we're on TV as well. It's great for the club, gives us a bit of exposure. But I do watch a lot of Bonnyrigg when Hearts aren't playing, and they do play some good stuff. But tonight, for one reason or another, as I say, it's been 100 miles an hour. There's not been a lot of quality in the game. So I'm just hoping that the likes of Lee Curry can maybe get his foot on the ball and start passing it like he normally does. We are missing the big Kieran up front. He's a huge presence up front for us, and we are playing a lot of high balls to the strikers, so I'd like to see us try to get into feet a wee bit more. If we do that, then hopefully we can cause Buckie some problems.
Now, the prize for these two clubs is a place in the third round of the William Hill Scottish Cup. You've been fortunate enough to be in the final, sadly not playing in '98 and in 2012, but what was it like, being part of a cup winning team, and obviously for a team that you supported?
Yeah, it's massive. It was two of the best moments in my career. Obviously, you're right, 1998 I didn't play, but I was captain of my boyhood heroes, and I was very much part of things in the build up to the cup final. I played in all the early rounds, just unfortunate to miss the semi-final and the final. And in 2012 I was obviously assistant to Paulo, so both great occasions, and Scottish Cup brings out the best in all the clubs in Scotland, especially the likes of Bonnyrigg Rose. So it's an opportunity where if they get through, they can go into the round with the big guns. A couple of years ago, we played Hibs at Tynecastle, and it was a fantastic occasion for the town. So hopefully, it's Buckie are a good side. They've played really well tonight, and it'll be really difficult to beat them. But if the boys can go and play how I know they can play, hopefully they can get through, and then you never know. Hopefully they can maybe draw us in the next round.
Well, hopefully the second 45 brings us a couple of goals, Gary. Thanks very much for your time.
Cheers, Brian. Cheers.
And in the other Scottish Cup second round tie going on tonight, it's Edinburgh City, a goal up against Baxadee. And Michael, it's a Danny Handling penalty, remember him?
Certainly do, yes. Yeah, there's a lot of former Hearts and Hibs players that are on the show this evening.
This one's 0-0. Do you think it's been overcautious so far in front of the cameras? Everyone excited about the occasion, obviously. And obviously, nobody wants to mess up. Has it been more about that than it's been about maybe taking chances?
I'm not sure. I think the players have been concentrated because they know what's at stake, and I think the longer it gets on, the more tired they'll get, and maybe the mistakes will creep in. But I think that defensively, both teams, without having been posed too many questions, have dealt with what they've had to so far. So it'll be a case of the tireder they get, the concentration starts to go, and either side will be hoping to capitalise on that.
Let's head back to our commentators, Liam and Stephen, via the story so far. This won't take long.
Yes, we will hope for better in the second 45 here. Bonnyrigg Rose Athletics, 4th go at the Senior Scottish Cup after qualifying by winning the East Super League, including last season's triumph, which eventually, via the playoffs, saw them into the Lowland League, which they sit atop of. It's Buckie Thistle in the green and white hoops, going left to right as you watch. Bonnyrigg in their red and white. The home team's form's excellent. They've won their last 6 games, conceded just once, that was to Gretna. They've scored 17, actually lost just one of their 14 matches all season. It was to BSC Glasgow at the start of September. And Buckie Thistle's form is also very good. 6 clear at the top of the Highland League right now. Played a game more than second place Brora Rangers. In the current form, I've seen them win their last 9 games, going back to a mid-August loss to Fraserburgh at home. No further changes. The half-time interval, of course, Scott Gray came on in the first half. That's for the home team. From Bonnyrigg. There was a little glimmer of opportunity for Alan Horn there. He found himself in the opposing box.
Yeah, the big centre half had made his way into the box. Decent run from him. He gets fed in and then ball just gets kind of stuck under his feet. Tries to dig out a kind of shot come across to the front post.
The header was won by Moyes there, but he can't divert it anywhere but behind for the goal kick.
Nah, the corner was just kind of stood up, hung up into an area. You can see Moyes going to attack it. Doesn't really get anywhere near enough purchase on the header. He's been marshalled fairly well by Lewis McKinnon at the time anyway, so difficult to get too much pace in the header. It's harder to get pace on a kind of floated ball like that anyway. Harmlessly behind.
There's Brett. And he's got the free kick.
So dangerous in the first half was Brett. Again, at the heart of it as we start the second half. Been the best player on the pitch for me.
He couldn't make anything of the free kick though.
It was not a bad delivery, just the old 50 pence head from Ewan Moyes. Couldn't quite get it on target.
A little turn there by Robertson. Oh, it's just across the face. And it was enough to get the Buckie Thistle bench excited.
He's looked threatening throughout the match. He's got really good pace and athleticism. Drives into the box. I think the home team will be disappointed at how they stood off him, certainly allowed him to get to the edge of that 18. Pulls the trigger, just drags it a wee bit wide of the goalkeeper's right-hand post, but positive, certainly from Buckie. And again, Robertson can be happy with his contribution so far.
They had a brief flirtation with the SPFL, Buckie Thistle, a couple of years ago, losing out to East Kilbride. $1,693 is the attendance inside New Dundas this evening. Still waiting for goals. Good turn there by Kevin Fraser. Oops, Curry in trouble. It's McCaskill. McCaskill fancies this.
He's got every right to take it on. Shot from distance, that's really positive for the away side. 2 shots in the space of 2 minutes. So slack though from Curry in the middle of the park. Works it onto his left foot, McCaskill. Chops back onto his right. And then it's a decent hit. Just rising over the keeper's bar. Gets a lot of power behind it. Just a wee bit too high, but positive again.
Well, he scored 4 times this season, including a long ranger in the last round. Against Civil Service Strollers. And this is another opportunity for Buckie Thistle, who are asking questions. And finally, the goalkeeper does have a save to make.
In all honesty, he should have scored. It's the best chance of the match by quite a considerable distance. And he just hits it straight at the goalkeeper. There were options for McCaskill. It's a wonderful pass inside on the left foot. I think he'd have been better suited going down the goalkeeper's right-hand side. Just open up his foot. It bobbled in fairness to him, but straight at the goalkeeper. And a decent save, but really should have been 1-0 up. And it's a big, big chance for Callum Murray.
And just the 1 goal this season for the midfielder. A reminder about the results programme tomorrow, 4:30 on BBC One Scotland. Stephen's there with David. Is Leanne with you?
No. Well, Leanne's
David
there, but Jonathan's presenting tomorrow.
Is he?
Yes, so that'll be worth watching.
Right, okay. He'll have to be on his toes then. Here come Bonnyrigg, snapshot, which couldn't really catch. In the end up Ross Gray.
Well, it's a response at least to the 3 shots that Buckie Thistle had, but no power behind the shot whatsoever. Very easy for Herbert to just scoop up into his arms. But at least we're seeing shots on goal, Liam, which is an improvement. Shots on target, an improvement on the first half.
Well,
Certainly the last 5 minutes has been entertaining.
Callum Murray's going to be reliving that one over and over again tonight in his bed, whenever he gets home.
I've been there many a time.
Particularly if this doesn't go the way of Buckie Thistle.
An obvious one for Alan Newlands there. Definite foul, pulled the arm. Callum Murray, maybe just frustration from his missed chance, I don't know, but a professional foul here. Surprised actually he didn't get a booking for that.
Better move this from Bonnyrigg. What's awkward? And the goalkeeper beating all ends up. Bonnyrigg Rose hit the front. The ball floated in from the right-hand side. It's surely a cross ball, but it's ended up in the net. And Bonnyrigg Rose lead Buckie Thistle. Lowland in front against Highland. And that was looped up, scooped up by Stewart. And unfortunately for Lee Herbert, he's completely perplexed by it.
Yeah, a fortunate goal. They'd worked the ball well out on that right-hand side. Back to Stewart for the cross. You know, there's absolutely no doubt whatsoever that it's a cross and not a shot. I would put a wee bit of blame at Herbert's door there. I felt as though he could have had his bearings a bit better and maybe been able to claw it out of the goal. They're difficult, those ones, for goalkeepers, but you know, a really disappointing way to lose a goal, certainly.
There's a flare on the pitch, so smoke bomb, so I think they're going to have to He might actually have to stop the play, although a
Fairness
very
to
lively Stewart.
Yes, he was rapid.
Yeah. See the smoke still billowing away there. Handball has been given. So Bonnyrigg in front, and I just mean mentioning Callum Murray's opportunity for Buckie Thistle, which came just minutes before when he was played in one-on-one with Mark Weir, just about, and the goalkeeper came out on top, and within minutes a fortuitous goal has Bonnyrigg Rose in front.
Yeah, Buckie shouldn't be too disheartened though, because they've started this second half really well. They've managed to create 3 reasonable openings, 1 really good opening. They've got to just keep doing what they were doing in the half-time restart. But yeah, they'll be disappointed in the manner that they lost that goal.
That's a lovely slip ball through to the aforementioned Murray. Happy to accept the throw. 2 quick-fire goals at Ainsley Park, by the way. Edinburgh City 2-1 up now against Bankside. Aside from Aberdeen, equalised through Kane Winton, Robbie McIntyre within a minute had them 2-1 up. Edinburgh City, who led initially through Danny Handling's penalty on 23. That game just about at half-time. Now, you had the yelp in the background there as the no-holds-barred challenge came from Kieran Adams.
It's just as well he didn't catch him. It's just as well he didn't turn the other way. Well, that would have been a lot slower than it was. Yeah, it's mistimes it. I think there was too much malice in it, to be honest. George Hunter getting a bit of a talking to from Alan Newlands.
To be fair, the Bonnyrigg fans are probably all here this evening, but if there are any watching from afar, it's still goalless between East Stirlingshire and Kelty Hearts in the Lowland League. A point enough to put Kelty top in goal difference. And Bonnyrigg have been top for a while now. And they've played the same number of games though after this evening. And free kick, body check.
Again, Alan Newlands is in a good area to see the foul. Yeah, definite body check.
There's been no dubiety over many of the free kicks awarded tonight, is there?
A lot of them have been fairly obvious, Liam. As we'd expected, a few hefty challenges. The surface doesn't help things. Players going to ground a lot, slide tackles.
Well, Lee Curry was booked in the first half, so in all seriousness has to be careful. Oh, that's flicked towards goal, but it's an easy take for Mark Weir, and he'll be grateful for that because this looked like a big opportunity.
It was. I think it's Sam Urquhart, and really he's got to get more on the header. The delivery's good. He's managed to find himself a yard of space in the middle of the box, and you know, sometimes on a rainy night like tonight, you can just cliff off your forehead, but he's got to get more on that. It's difficult when the ball's spinning in the way like that towards the goal, but he just needed to get a bit more purchase on the header, try and pick a corner. It's another big opportunity though. Buckie Thistle just need to keep knocking at the door.
It's going to be a change for Bonnyrigg in a moment by the looks of things. And a free kick has been given in a very promising position. So Ross Gray, who's been upended.
Yeah, it was a clumsy foul, especially given where it's at, in a really dangerous area for the in-swinging cross. After the last one, I'd be tempted to put this right in on top of young Lee Herbert. Put him under pressure, ask questions.
The first goal of the season for Bonnyrigg captain Johnny Stewart has them 1-0 up in this second round tie. We have to wait for now for the second. Another chance to cross though for Ross Gray. He's flicking that one just past. He was in a good position as well, and I think he feels as though he should have got that in target.
Yeah, I would agree, although he gets slightly more on it than the last one, and it's only inches past the post. This will be a really good angle to see it. The delivery's good, the marking isn't good, and he's less than a foot away from the far post. But it's a big opportunity to go 2 goals into the lead.
This is Johnny Brown, loses out. Good work in the middle by Curry. And now, there's Dean Brett, who's in a terrific position out there.
Yeah, he's got a wry smile on his face. He knows he should have done better. It was well worked from Bonnyrigg, the home side doing well, although Buckie won't be too pleased with how easy it was just to evade the challenges. 1, 2, 3. Opens up really well for Brett, and yeah, again, leaning back on a night like tonight, just get your head over it and your laces through it.
I'm not sure who's driving that white car there. They're in for a surprise.
Good pass.
And Buckie Thistle are going to bring on midfielder Scott Adams in just a moment. That is Heat. Initially, Buckie on loan from Peterhead. Signed at the start of last season, and he was pursued for quite a while by Graham Stewart as manager. And it's Callum Murray who comes off, and he'll be desperately hoping one of his teammates can bail him out.
He will be. You can see the disappointment on his face. He knows he's had the best chance of the evening for his team. And you're right, he'll be replaying that on the bus on the way home, and then when he gets home in his kip, if somebody doesn't bail him out. That was a wee bit of theatrical. It was a bit of a silly salmon there, wasn't it?
Oh, he's going to get a replay as well. He's not getting away with it.
My wee boy does this into the swimming pool. That's called a silly salmon, Liam. Johnny Brown. Kieran Adams again. He's won a power of headers tonight. Strong physical centre half.
Yeah, he's going to bring it back.
Yeah. It's a foul on McCaskill, I think.
Yeah, he was looking to see if there was an advantage there.
Yep.
Alan Newlands. Last 2 years have been a bit of a nightmare for Buckie Thistle. They've finished kind of 7th or 8th in the Highland League, but they've had a lot of injury problems to contend with, which came off the back of their last Highland League title the season before, the last 2, which were both won by Cove Rangers. Cove, of course, flying high at the top of League 2 in the SPFL these days. Their maiden season in professional ranks.
It's good
Here's
football.
Buckie. looking for a leveller. They're stringing it about, no problem just now. Shackles off a bit, and then the bearings are completely lost by Adams, who's not long on.
It was a really well worked move from the visitors, working it from left to right. A lot of neat passing. Finally came out to the substitute Adams, and he does well to skip past the defender initially in the box. He just gets the shot all wrong, high and wide. They've got to keep plugging away though in this second half, Buckie. They've created a few opportunities. I'll get the feeling that they will get another big chance before the end of this half.
Bigger fish to fry, you suspect, with regards to their league campaigns, both clubs. It's a tough one sometimes for Highland League, Lowland League sides, where obviously there's a chance to come through the pyramid playoff system and get into the SPFL, like Cove Rangers, like Edinburgh City have done in recent times. But not every club in these leagues wants to go into the SPFL. For a start, a lot of the players, for example, at Buckie Thistle, work relatively locally, and it would impact greatly having to make longer journeys.
Yeah.
I mean, the longest journey Buckie would have would be to Fort William down to Claggan Park.
I'm not sure how much more financially beneficial it is either to the sides, but certainly a cup run can be very financially beneficial if you can get a big team in the next couple of rounds, and that's exactly why we're here tonight.
I think it was Brora who played in the playoffs early on when the pyramid playoff brought in the Scottish Professional Football League, and coming up wasn't really their preferred option. Here come Bonnyrigg, a second might kill this, and they might be in for it, and they are! That is absolutely outstanding from George Hunter!
A moment of real quality, Liam. A moment of absolute quality from the big striker, George Hunter, down in that right-hand side. With a really good bit of pace. You thought he's at the byline, he's going to flash it across the face. He takes it back onto his left and then shows composure. And out-rushing Lee Herbert and tucks it in the corner. In a game that's perhaps lacked lots of quality, this is a moment of real brilliance from George Hunter. There's the turn of pace I was talking about, cuts in, takes a touch with his left, and he's got the composure to just knock it past Herbert. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
It's ice cool from Hunter. 9 goals for the season. He spent some time in the Highlands and in the Highland League with Elgin. The previous loan spell as a youth player at St Johnstone. But one of the leading scorers in the East of Scotland League last season. As I say, moves to within 1 of double figures, and he might just have moved Bonnyrigg Rose very, very close now to the third round.
It's a long way back now. It's a long way back now for the visitors. They make a substitution.
Yeah, well, Jay Cheen has come on for them, and he has come onto the pitch to try and turn the tide. He's come on for Monroe. So it's an attacking change by Graham Stewart, as I suppose it has to be now.
Yeah, it has to be, absolutely. You know, they were well in this second half, and I suppose you think about the contrast between the 2 goals that we've seen. The first one was unfortunate from a Buckie Thistle perspective. You know, they've missed their best chance in the match in this second half, but the second one, there can be no complaints about. A moment of real quality.
So Hamish Monroe, the right back for Buckie, off, and Jay Cheen, who's a midfielder, has come on. When you speak to anyone at Buckie Thistle, they say he's a class act. Cheen, he'll have to be now. He's a lot of work to do.
Maybe should have started the game.
About 20 odd minutes remaining. The Buckie Jags are to save their Scottish Cup season. They came through the last round against Civil Service Strollers, scoring 4 goals. 4-1 victory. Monroe's just come off one of the scorers. Casco, Fraser and Cowie were the other players to score in that game.
I think Buckie are going to make another change imminently, Liam. Really having to go for it now. Looks like McCabe's going to come on.
Joe McCabe, another midfielder. This might be an enforced one though, by the look of it. And Craig Cowie is coming off, and he is one of the Buckie Thistle players who's returned from long-term injury. It was 2 seasons ago, he hardly played because of it. And his place goes to Joe McCabe, who's on for the final, 20 minutes plus injury time. Can play up front as well, so may well be that they push him on a bit. Collision. And that looks as though it's going to be the second yellow. And it is. And it goes for Cheney, who hasn't been on too long.
He's kind of turned his back and his hip into the Bonnyrigg player there. A physical challenge. The ball that came in wasn't deep enough for him. It was he had to throw his body at it and gave away the foul.
There's another change coming this time. Bonnyrigg Rose looking to freshen things up a bit in the closing stages of the tie. Jamie Devlin. And Stewart, the captain, who got the first.
Just too quick to cross it. McCaskill does well again. He's had a lot of driving runs at that. Released Sam Robertson on the left, and if it was he could have taken another touch and steadied himself. Tried it first time, and it's a difficult skill to do, especially in a bobbly pitch. I think now Bonnyrigg will make their substitution, but another wee rerun of this goal. I mean, it's most definitely not a shot. It was fortuitous, but there is absolutely nothing fortuitous as George Hunter's.
That's a great finish, isn't it?
Finish. Ice cool, as you said, Liam.
Yeah, Ross Gray is off. Devlin on.
Again, Keaton Adams.
And into the second half in the other second round Scottish Cup tie being played tonight. Edinburgh City 2-1 up on Bankside. But as it stands, Bonnyrigg will be the first side through to the draw for round 3 on Sunday evening on the Sports Scene Premiership Highlights programme. It's 7:15 on this very channel. A third really would finish it off. Here's Brett.
Ah, brilliant.
Caught it. Not so brilliant.
Well, you know, I've been a fan of Brett's tonight. He's done a lot of things really well, defensively and in an attacking sense, but unfortunately there, just no quality on the cross. The lovely wee dink through to him was fantastic, and it was a good front post run. If he just lifted his head and noticed the front post run and flashed it across the face, it might well have been a tap in. But far too much on his cross.
Get up to date of all the scores for the second round of this competition tomorrow. The vast majority of the ties taking place tomorrow. BBC Radio Scotland Sport Sound. The flag eventually goes up.
Yeah, definite offside. Absolutely zero complaints. Hunter a good yard offside. Should have held his run because he sees it. He knows he's past the last man, McKinnon, but too eager to get in behind. Really slack from Buckie though to give the ball away from the throw-in in the first instance that led to the attack.
A tired looking pass.
Certainly was, Liam. It certainly was. That's one way to describe it. This is the danger when they start to go forward and lose their shape. Chasing to try and get back in the match, they leave themselves very susceptible to the counter. And they have, had lots of moments in the game like that one a minute ago when the passing hasn't quite been on point and it has been slack.
Decided to give the free kick on the near side. A long old trip back up the road. And the Buckie boys tonight. In about 3.5 hours from Midlothian to get back up there onto the Murray coast. Maybe even longer if they've got the same sat nav as you have, to be fair.
Well, I was 3.5 from Renfrewshire, yeah, so I'm sure it may.
Anything's possible. Buckie Thistle looking for a route back into this. Just a little slip as well.
Oh, brilliant.
And now, Bonnyrigg could be in for the clincher.
Cynical from McCaskill. Really cynical. But again, that's the counter that they're leaving themselves open to. That came from their free kick into the box.
It's the fresh legs of Devlin as well, isn't it?
Yeah, he did really well. Tied two of the players up. Drove inside again, and a really cynical foul from McCaskill. He had to give the foul away to a certain extent because Devlin was virtually in a 1v1 situation.
It's Curry over the free kick. Buckie Thistle just about get away with it.
It was a decent enough free kick into a good area. McKinnon, not overly convincingly, manages to get it cleared. Since those kind of opening minutes of the second half, they haven't really managed to fashion too many other big opportunities.
It's McCaskill going to do just that.
Oh, well done.
Oh, brilliant effort, which brings the save out of Mark Weir, who, to be fair, when he's been called upon, has dealt with it. It was Adams with an effort which finds the target this time.
A lovely turn, and he gets his shot away really sharply. Bounces horribly in front of the goalkeeper, but he did well to palm it away and out to the side, out the way of danger. That should give them a wee injection. Buckie, just over 10 minutes to get themselves back in this game. But good piece of individual skill from Adams, and he does get a bit behind the shot, but a strong arm and a strong save from Mark Weir.
Buckie Thistle, like Bonnyrigg, have scored in every single game this season coming into this. Bonnyrigg Rose have maintained that The visitors have 10 minutes, just over that, to try and remedy the current blank that they are firing.
Well left from Alan Horn. Trying to be a bit more direct now. They know there's not long left. This looks as though it could be a defensive change for the home team, Bonnyrigg, as they just try and see the game out. 2-0 up, 10 minutes to go.
They've earned that right, haven't they? It's young for Curry. Oh, yeah, goalkeeper comes out again.
Yep, route one, gone direct. Misjudged header by the centre half, and it's always just going to skip through. As we mentioned, it's not going to hold up tonight. Smart goalkeeping from Mark Weir, though.
Yeah, Martinique's delighted with smart goalkeeping. So it just went over his head.
Yeah. Dean Breton, no rush to take the throw in. Definitely getting a bit heavier now as well, the rain.
They've had their chances in the second half, Buckie Thistle.
It's difficult actually for the linesman to see that line now. It's kind of faded away with the weather that we've had. Well, Willen running even into the last 10 minutes from George Hunter running the line, trying to give his team an out ball.
Oh, just Bonnyrigg Rose's fourth go at the Senior Scottish Cup. Of course, a junior side until pretty recently, well, very recently. Buckie Thistle have a relatively rich Scottish Cup history. First appearance was back in 1922. Currently, they're the only senior non-league club to win a match at Hampden Park as well. They did it in 1954. And they beat Queen's Park in a fourth round replay. They're not quite out of this yet, but that's another huge opportunity which has been spurned to get them back into this one. And it's high over the bar from Adams.
It's a big, big chance. It really is. Just leaning back. The big centre half probably finds himself in an unnatural area.
Yeah, it's Lewis McKinnon actually.
Yeah, he's only 6-7 yards out, he is. And you've got to get that in target, unfortunately. Much like the one earlier on, he's got to put that on target. He's leaning back, and you wonder whether that's going to be their last big opportunity in the match. It'd be interesting if he'd got that in.
McCaskill again with that left peg.
He's been a driving force, especially in the second half. McCaskill, one of the more impressive performers for me for Buckie Thistle. He's had a couple from distance. That was never really going to test the goalkeeper though, unfortunately.
Looking to repeat the trick from the last round against Civil Service Strollers. Kevin Fraser. Robertson's cross cut out. A bit of frustration, I think, from Sam Robertson, who began the game very lively in that first half.
He did.
Yellow as well.
Frustration, Liam. It's just frustration. Put a lot into the game. Athletic player. Had one really good snapshot at the start of this half, and you can just see how frustrated he is.
You've had a little think about who is your William Hill Scottish Cup man of the match, so now you can tell the nation, Stephen.
Yes, well, my William Hill Scottish Cup man of the match is the player who showed the most quality tonight, and that was George Hunter. The second goal for the home side, Bonnyrigg. Probably one of the only moments of absolute quality in the match, in a game that's been starved of that, really, but that is a goal fit to win any game.
And it's just put this tie out of Buckie Thistle's reach, you feel. Really nice finish there by Hunter, 23-year-old who's in his first season at the club. 9 goals in 14 appearances now. Scored from the bench last week in the South of Scotland Cup. Not literally from the bench, he came onto the park
right. Okay,
as a substitute.
I got that.
Yeah. We'll hopefully hear from George Hunter after the game.
Conditions are getting really tricky as well. As I mentioned, the weather's getting a bit... The rain's getting a bit heavier again. You can see lots of players losing their footing. The pitch has cut up.
Well, this might be the route back in. They can't manage to force it home though. And as I say, they've had some decent balls into the box in the second 45 in particular. And that time he couldn't quite get Urquhart on the end of it.
I think that'll be probably their biggest kind of regret from the match. You know, take out George Hunter's goal, the first goal, as we've mentioned. They could do nothing about, really, but they have created enough chances to certainly be level, if not ahead, in the match.
They go to Huntly in their next league match, Buckie Thistle. Certainly not the kind of journey they've had to put in today. Next Saturday. Bonnyrigg go to Gallifrey a week tomorrow. As both sides look to maintain their positions at the top of their respective divisions. It's a free kick here.
McKinnon's saying it's a dive. He's been booked by Alan Newlands. Not be able to tell until we get this replay. Still fairly inconclusive, to be honest. McKinnon was strong in his protest that he didn't make contact, but it's a chance nonetheless.
There's a few fancy it.
Yeah.
Devlin and Gray.
It's because
Brett.
Games on the telly, Liam. I'm hitting it.
Yeah, saw Stuart Armstrong score a perler
Yeah.
for the Scotland national team against San Marino on Sunday. It's on the other side of the D. Favours the left footer for that top right. It is the right footer, it's Brett, and it's over.
Not the best of free kicks. He'll not be worried. He can be quite pleased with his evening's work. He just tries to bend it round the wall. Doesn't get anywhere near enough bend on it. I think it would have been too high anyway.
And they're having to contend with big spending Kelty Hearts this season, Bonnyrigg Rose. Approaching injury time here. And it would be interesting to know what the grand ambition is for Bonnyrigg. They're not a junior side anymore in the Lowland League. Is this a club, do you think, will fancy a shot at the SPFL?
Why not? Why not? You want to test yourself at the highest level that you can do, and for these teams here in the Lowland League and in the Highland League, getting into the SPFL's the prize, really.
McCaskill. He's looking for the give and go initially there. There's Adams. And so with Fraser.
Disappointing end product from Fraser. Just doesn't get his foot round it enough, and he's looking at his manager who's just in front of us here. Frustration, I think, is the word. He knows that they probably should have given a better account of themselves this evening. It was very tight in the first half. They had the chances to win the match in the second. Ultimately, they've not managed to breach the home team's defence.
Nathan Austin has scored yet again for Kelty Hearts. They're 1-0 up early in the second half against East Stirlingshire and Falkirk. And that would absolutely usurp Bonnyrigg at the top of the Lowland League tonight, and they'll both have played the same number of matches. And we watched Nathan Austin and Kelty in the last round. He's talking like Talbot, and he toiled.
I don't know if you noticed that there. Gary Locke was right in the middle of that huddle of supporters bouncing up and down. He's in a great time.
Why not? He is enjoying himself, isn't he?
It certainly is, Liam.
Hand down, Gary.
They've been great tonight, the home support, and you know, kudos to the away support as well. Travelling down on a night like tonight, such a long way. It's going to be an even longer journey home.
He's got an ambassadorial position at Hearts, who face Rangers at Tynecastle on Sunday. That game you'll be able to see the highlights of on Sports Scene on this channel, 7:15 Sunday evening. Full coverage of that on Sports and BBC Radio Scotland as well, like all the matches across the weekend. Bonnyrigg Rose are going to be able to enjoy their weekend because they are the first side through to the third round of the William Hill Scottish Cup. The Lowland League triumphs over the Highland League. 2 second half goals for Bonnyrigg Rose. The first, a fortuitous cross into the box from Stewart, which found the net. The second was a fabulous strike from George Hunter, who was Stephen's man of the match. And Bonnyrigg Rose strike up low to the Highland League. A battle we might well see in the pyramid playoff system come the end of this campaign. We shall see. But for tonight, it is the Midlothian side who celebrate. They're through to round 3. It finished Bonnyrigg Rose 2, Buckie Thistle 0.
First time under the floodlights, these floodlights for Bonnyrigg Rose, first time in front of the live BBC TV cameras as well, and how they have shone in the limelight, and they've got the job done, and they are through to the third round draw. 1,693 here tonight. It's been a fantastic atmosphere, and they will party tonight. Robbie Horn and his team and their supporters, and Gary Locke looks like he's going to party long into the night as well. And they just had Michael Stewart and James McFadden that little bit extra tonight. They made things happen in and around the penalty box, and that's where it all fell down for Buckie, Michael.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. The first goal was big as well. You know, it was fortuitous, there's no doubt about it. But that made a big difference getting that first goal.
Had Buckie scored, it could have been a whole lot different. Here is man of the match, George Hunter with Brian.
Yeah, George, many congratulations. You're the first team through to the third round. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels great. Tough game. Obviously, Buckie, credit to them, came down, gave us a battle, but good to get over the line in the end.
How important was it to put on a show tonight?
I think it was important to showcase what Bonnyrigg can do, and I think we've done that tonight very well.
And your own goal, a terrific goal?
It was alright, wasn't too bad.
Well, congratulations, you are the William Hill Scottish Cup man of the match. Many congratulations. Thank you.
So George Hunter, the man of the match, and I think the lads will make short work of the champagne. This a tad fortuitous, wasn't it, from John Stewart?
Yeah, it was. You know, we'd been speaking about the quality coming into the box, and you know, it's set back and he just swings it in. The goalkeeper's caught out by it and doesn't deal with it. And this goal here is sensational. You know, the one real bit of quality in the game. Great feet, great turn of pace, and it's a brilliant finish. You know, he slows down a little bit here, takes the touch. Great awareness and skill and brilliant composure.
Yeah, you've got to say that, you know, for the two centre halves, McKinnon and Adams, they had a pretty solid evening. But on that occasion, Hunter did really, really well. First of all, to get past McKinnon, and then the feet work to open up there. It was a really good bit of quality there.
I think that was the quote of the night from George Hunter, wasn't it? It was all right. as if he does it every week. It was a bit special from him, and it was that moment which settled this cup tie. Apologies if you've heard any bad language in the background. You will understand that there are a few people getting a little bit overexcited. Thanks a lot to Michael. Yeah, get into yourself. James McFadden as well. You have the distinct feeling that it's going to be a big night in Bonnyrigg from all of us here. Good night.